morning, guys. How is everybody? Hope you had
Good
a good weekend.
morning.
Hey, Clarenda, thank you so much for
Hi.
doing this. Yes. Um, so Sarah is on vacation this week, but she has lined up leaders throughout the office to do some leading in the morning this morning. So Clarenda is going to pop on today and tell us and go through the value square just like Sarah normally does. Um, let's see. I don't think we have much going on today office wise, but we are going to do team meeting tomorrow virtually. So just want to put that on y'all's radar. Since it's spring break, the next 2 weeks we're going to do virtual team meetings. That way you don't feel pressured, or if you're out of town, then you can log in and we're going to do it that way. But I'll let you take it away, Clarenda, and let me know if you need anything.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Surprise, surprise. Linda, so I was supposed to do the supply and demand slide from Value Squared. Do you have that?
I don't, but I can pull it up really
Okay.
fast.
And it's one slide, pretty cut and dry. Um, and it'll literally only take me about 5 minutes.
Okay.
So,
Maybe
yep.
we can discuss with that. Hold on. Let me pull up value squared here. Maybe if I could spell, that'd be good. Doo-doo.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Clarinda, Linda.
Morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Let's see.
So, while you're pulling that, I think it's slide either, I think 40 or 30. I'm not sure. It's the slide.
Okay, gotcha. I got slide.
Supply and demand.
Oh, got it. Okay, let me share my screen. Sorry, guys. Here we go.
The next one. Go to that one. That one
Perfect.
right there. Yeah. So, with regard to value squared, um, we're talking about supply and demand, not in the sense of supply and demand like we think of it, but we are talking about it as it relates to the supply, meaning the inventory that we have in the market, and then the demand that you can bring to your particular listing. And so this slide addresses the common misconception that sellers and or agents actually set prices in the market. So the prior slides that we've been talking about um, are they went through. Sarah went through what we do as agents to bring value to our clients. So this particular slide, again, it addresses the common misconception that sellers and or agents set prices. And so it also emphasizes the shift from only setting prices, meaning that we as agents, we can't control the supply, but we can show our value by mastering the levels or the levers to influence demand for our properties. Now, I am going to read these statements. Can you make it a little bit bigger, Linda? So I
Sure.
can see.
Better?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, I'm going to read these statements because I do understand that some people may not be looking at their screens. Um, or be in the position to read. So we hear over and over that just putting a sign in the yard is not going to cut it as a listing agent. So we have to be more strategic, and that is what this particular slide is talking about. We want our listings to stand out among its competitors. So I'm going to read numbers 1 and 2 because they kind of go together. So number 1. Ensure the property is in working condition, make repairs, etc. Number two, make strategic improvements, updates, improve aesthetics, and better curb appeal. So I put these two together, like I said, because they both deal with conditions and improvements of a property. You'll have to put on your project manager hat, and advise the client on repairs, advise them on completing the things that will bring a return on their investment. Number three, present the home in a way that appeals to the most amount of buyers through staging, photos, and property description. So right here, we're talking about presentation. Here, you sort of act as the marketing director. You may stage the property. You may use high-end media to capture more eyes on the property. And then within the property, create spaces that trigger or stir emotional interest for your buyers. In my head, I was thinking about like a nursery, something of that nature that would trigger someone saying, you know, "Ooh, this is a house for us," or "This is a house for my family." Number four, leverage the MLS. Number four, we have to ensure that the property is seen by every possible buyer. And within our MLS, we have a lot of tools that we can use to make that happen. When you have a listing, you have the price analysis. We also have something, we have reverse prospecting. And so you utilize those things in order to make sure again that the home is seen by as many buyers as possible. I have used that myself in helping a seller. I actually used it to help them to come to the conclusion that we needed to do adjustments. So a lot of these things we've already gone over in Win the Morning. So from that, I actually leveraged the MLS. Let's see. Consider offering cooperative compensation. Does anybody have any idea what that is? You can give me something in the chat, a thumbs up. Cooperative compensation. I
Offering
can't
Pay,
see the
buyer.
chat.
Go ahead.
yeah, offering to pay the buyer's agent um, on
Absolutely.
behalf of the buyer. Yeah, Lauren said buyer's
Mhm.
commission in there. Mhm.
Right. So this is a critical part of the Value Square curriculum. It refers to the seller, as you said, offering compensation to the buyer's agent. And nowadays, offering buyer agent compensation can be a marketing strategy, especially we know that it is not mandatory that they do so, but it can be a marketing strategy to increase the demands because sometimes it will allow for a buyer to actually make that property more accessible or more attractive to the buyers because we know that a lot of times people don't have the funds to pay their buyer agent. And so this is something that you can talk to your seller about doing. So that's pretty much it. Supply and demand. It was one slide, and basically you're using your knowledge to bring value to that seller and increase the demand for their home so that they get the highest price possible and in the least amount of time and with the least amount of hassles. That is it,
Love that.
guys.
Okay.
Supply and demand.
My brain went to like when you said supply and demand, I thought we were going to be talking about we have so much inventory and the demand, but I like that it's
Correct.
like talking about how even though there's supply, we can increase demand for our properties. Um, And one thing that came to mind too, when we're talking about leveraging the MLS, is our, um, if you're new to KW or maybe you haven't seen it, we started doing something called like a listing audit. So once a month, and it's on the 19th, I think, this month, via Zoom. If you have a listing that's sitting and you need help figuring out how you can be more strategic to get more demand, we actually just all get together and mastermind. So I think that's a powerful tool for getting demand up for your property. So leveraging the MLS, honestly, that's the first thing we're going to do, right? We're going to pull up the MLS, Realtor.com, Zillow, and look at your listings from the eyes of a consumer. So if you're scrolling through shopping, first thing I always look at is what pictures are the first like three. Are they the most appealing pictures? If you have four pictures of the front, they may just swipe away before they ever see the amazing kitchen or patio or whatever it is. So those types of changes came to mind
Mhm.
whenever you talked about leveraging the MLS.
Mhm.
And then um, I'm trying to, there was one more thing that popped in my brain when you said that, but yeah, I think that's a huge part of it. It's just making sure that they know that no matter what the supply is, that we can be more strategic with the demand.
Right.
I love that slide.
hmm
Did anybody else
So
have any thoughts
it's
while Clarenda was talking? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say it is this particular slide is one, it can be the answer to what your the answer to the question, why should I pay you this particular compensation? It lets them know that we're just not a cost for them, that we are someone who's increasing the demand for their property to ensure that they get the highest return possible.
I love that. Did anybody else have any thoughts on supply and demand?
Right. When I looked at it, I thought the same thing. Okay, supply and demand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was different for value squared. So
I love
it's
that.
a
Yeah, I mean, this is the reason that they pay us, right? Because we increase demand. Let's see, somebody just said something in the chat, so let me read that. Buyers can't afford the cost, so create the supply and drum up the demand. I love that. Sammy said that. Yeah, how can you create demand? How can you get creative? How can you get with other agents to think about, like she said, create emotion? Um, so a lot of times when I'm listing something, I'm going to talk about the area, what being in this neighborhood or on this street or close to this thing, how it's going to affect your life. Because what is it? Logic makes people think and emotions make people act. So when you're thinking about listing a property, I think that's um, something to consider too, not just when you're the buyer's agent and obviously having like making sure that you know their pain points and when you're a listing agent too, but how can you appeal to the
Mhm.
consumer in that way, in an emotional way so that they are like, oh yes, if I lived there, that's how my life would be. That's what my day would
Right.
look like.
Sell the experience.
Yes.
hmm
But no, I love that. Thank you so much for hopping on, y'all. If y'all need anything, let us know. We're wrapping up right on time. Let me use Sarah's words and say, make it a good one, make it count. Call us if you guys need
Right.
anything at all. And we will see you tomorrow on Win the Morning. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Clarinda.
Righty. You're welcome.